Yeah, I was pleased today with the way the team started quickly, and I'd like to attribute it to our fans. I mean, I got to give our fans a big thanks for getting out there early and just really inspiring our team. It felt good to see that student section packed, and I know our guys really enjoy when they come out and they see that lower bowl field the way it is, and we hope we continue to be able to create that type of advantage when we play at home. We were fortunately able to start quickly. We got a good 3 and out on defense, and then offensively, we were able to go down and score quick. And we keep stressing that starting fast is really important for us in all 3 phases. For us to get a good start and then also finish faster. And today, I thought we did that. I was happy with the offensive execution early in the game. As we got into the third quarter, we kind of got a little lull because we slowed down the tempo. We were trying to cut some of the plays off the game that our defense would have to play, and that's not something that we're good at yet. And so it was good to be able to work on slowing our tempo down because we've got to, again, make sure that we play complementary football. And they got maybe 70 to 80 plays themselves today, so that's a lot of plays, and we need to be able to slow the tempo, to control the tempo of the game on the offensive side of the ball. And I thought the execution got a little sloppy in the third quarter, but was happy to see us win the fourth quarter. And when you have a running back room like we have, it's just great to be able to finish games with guys like Tayon Fleet Davis and Jake Funk and those guys that were able to come in and finish the game and win the fourth quarter. Third down was good for us on the offensive side of the ball. It's really important. We keep talking about football IQ and situational football, and I think our guys are starting to get it. We were 8 for 8 for touchdowns in the red zone, 11 for 15 in third down situations, and those are good things, and that's how we want to play. Obviously, we got the 24-hour rule in effect. These guys can enjoy it. What a great opportunity to play a ranked team here at home and to come out with a win like we did today. I'm really proud of our guys, and we ride them really hard during the course of the week, and we strive for excellence in our execution. And the thing we ask is for each guy to give us the best version of themselves every time they come out, and that collectively gives our team the best chance to be successful. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Mike, with the offense scoring the way it did, how much of the key was the defense, especially the 2 early turnovers and the way they played, even late, stopping on fourth down and playing without Shaq?
Oh man, our defense did a really good job. We gave up some explosive plays, which you don't like to see, but when you play the type of defense we play, you're going to give up some plays, and it's just how you respond. The most disappointing thing with the plays we gave up were some of the deep balls. We had guys in position, and I just feel like I've got to do a better job of getting us the work they need, our corners need, to play the deep ball when it's in the air, because we were in great position on Tino's, and he had bad eyes and then lost contact with the guy, and then we had the pass interference a couple of times. So we've got to do some things in practice to make sure that our guys are put in those positions to make the play. But it was great. Our defense gave us 2 early, stops and then a turnover, which allowed us to, again, put points on the board. And we're a team that kind of feeds off of that energy. So, and then to finish the game the way our defense finished it in the fourth quarter was good to see.
And Shaq's injury was wrong.
Yeah, so, Shaq, he was a game time decision. He actually practiced some on Wednesday, and we got him in there on Thursday. And then, yesterday we rested him and we took him out to warm him up, and he just couldn't go, and we didn't want to put him in harm's way. So fortunately, we were able to rest him. Keandre had a big-time game for us and took up the slack. Bryce Brand came in and filled in, along with getting McCullough back. That's helped us some with our depth there. But again, I think this week of rest will benefit us with getting Shaq back in time for Temple, because he went out and warmed up. We just couldn't get him to go.
On the offensive side, especially in the first half, what do you think game plan-wise enabled you to do what you did against that defense and that defensive front?
Our execution, Emily, I know that sounds like coach speak, but we run a style of offense that the defense can't be right unless they out-execute us. With the RPO stuff that we do, when you start running the football the way we have the capabilities to run it with our running backs and the way we block it up front, the only way you can stop it is adding the extra guy in the box. And that's where you saw early in the game some of the RPO concepts where Darryl Jones had a big catch and run, and Demas had a few, and our tight ends. And so it's hard to be right, and the only time that you usually have the ability to stop it is if our execution breaks down, and that's why I keep stressing it's really important for us to execute our system, and it's more about us than it is about them.
Darrell Kinsey Jr., WBGR coach. The offense has been explosive both in the rushing and the passing game, but how does a quarterback with the abilities of Josh Jackson help the running? Is he helped by the running game? Does that help him to open up the field a little bit more?
Yeah, I think, again, having the type of runners we have with Anthony McFarland and the attention that he draws, and, you know, Javon Leak and the attention that those guys draw, they're going to bring guys up to have to stop the run. And so, again, with the complementary things that we do off the run pass option stuff, it's, you know, they have to pick their poison, because then you saw later in the game they started not bringing the safety down and playing coverage, and that's when Anthony hit a really tight inside zone for a touchdown, and Javon popped one for a big long run. And so we've got to do a good job of making sure that we self-scout ourselves and just window dress what we do. But again, the execution part is what helps the quarterback, and I think what you saw today out of Josh was his decision making in the RPO game, because, you know, we're asking him to make decisions after the ball is snapped, and that's why, you know, that's why we picked him as our starter, because he makes good decisions.
Coach, to follow up on that, last week obviously Josh played well as well, and the one criticism you have is that you'd like to see him play a little bit faster, make a little faster decisions. It seemed like he was doing that today, getting the ball out quicker. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like he made progress in that area, and how much do you think that helped, you know, protect him against dangerous Syracuse pass runners?
Yeah, I do feel like he sped things up, but I think him speeding it up is a byproduct of him having just being a little more comfortable in how we call the games. And I thought Scotty did a great job offensively mixing it up, and we did a great job with some of the personnel groupings that we added in and put on tape. That I was really happy with the way he called the game. And to me, I think Josh just has a little more comfort now, having played in the game and have a good understanding of what we're asking him to do, and that usually allows you to play faster.
Was there an injury to Johnny at center?
No.
To Johnny Jordan?
No injury to Johnny Jordan. No.
Oh.
Coach, last week you said the best way to assess how well a team is progressing is what they do from week 1 to week 2. Having played 2 important games, having 2 big blowout wins, how would you assess this team going forward, and what are you looking to improve the most going into next week against Cumberland?
Well, I think you see the biggest jump between game 2 and game 3. We'll keep adding to it, so you can't pin me down. But no, you know, I thought our execution was better this week. You know, the one that sits in my cross, the interception, it was a poor decision, and I'm a negative Nelly when it comes to like bad football plays, and that was a bad play for us. You know, we had more penalties than I would like, you know, offsides on the kickoff just to start the game. Those are the things that make me, just kind of makes my skin crawl when we get these dumb penalties. And it was, for us to be the team we need to be, we got to play with great discipline. You know, discipline and winning go hand in hand. And as we like to say, it gets you when it gets you. You know, those things will come back to haunt us if we don't get it cleaned up. So those are the things we'll focus on this week. I guess I got 24 hours to kind of enjoy it, and then tomorrow we got a tough day because we're going to play a team on the road that beat us here at home, that has been a tough game for us over the years, and you know, it'll be our first road test.
You had, high praise for, Dino Favors earlier this week, and, the type of offense he runs and things like that. For you as a coach, how much do you look up to him, and, what does it mean for you to be able to kind of out-coach him in a game like this?
I don't know about out-coaching. I mean, comparisons are the kiss of death, so you won't get me into comparing out-coaching anybody. I think our players went out and played in the way that we want them to play. Dino's still a great coach. Still got the utmost respect for him and the program that he's made. You look at what he's done. He's won 10 games and has gotten that program heading in the right direction. All I can say is I'm glad we were able to get the win, and our team is responsible. It's about our team and our execution, and not necessarily about them.
Coach, was the rotation, we had Ellis McKinney play 3 or 4 offensive line positions, you got Piggy in, got all your receivers in, Sammy O playing on the defensive line. Is all that scripted out, or is that made up as the game dictates the situation?
We just throw it up on the wall and hope it stick, man. Just call it.
I'm not believing that.
You go out there and you go out there. No, Of course, we're scripted, it's organized, we got things that we want to get accomplished and how we game plan. Again, I learned from Ralph Friedgen that you put your best players on the field, and we've got opportunities where we had all three of our tailbacks on the field in different formations. We got some good tight ends, and I know people here love the tight end, and we've had some good packages with both Chig and Mabry on the field. And up front, again, we're developing depth, and so Ellis is a guy, like I told you, he's like a Swiss Army knife, and that he does so many things that he's like a sixth starter. I mean, he pretty much starts for us, and it keeps us being able to keep fresh players on the field up front because we don't have a lot of depth that we don't want to take or have our guys the way we play. I mean, we had 83 plays again today. We've got to be careful because it compounds with the more games you play and the more plays you have. So you're going to see us try to develop the depth of our team by playing a lot of players and utilizing the personnel we have.
Mike, 8 yards a play last week. You were right there up until the 2 kneel downs at the end. How impressive is it to you to be able to maintain that offensive efficiency week over week?
Man, you guys are just trying to set me up with all these questions like this. I mean, it is not impressive. I mean, it's execution. I mean, our guys, they're starting to get what we're asking them to do. Our goal is to score one more point than our opponent. That's still and then we make it more about us than we do our opponents. So as long as our players keep that mindset, we play the next play and we really don't even look up until the end. And that's what we've got to maintain, that type of habits and behaviors.
Mike, how tough is it for a coach to get their team back focused after a big win like this? I know last year, obviously you weren't here, but after beating Texas, they had a hard time against Temple after a bye week.
Yeah, I just left 3 years of getting focused is pretty easy to do with how you do it on Sunday, and it starts with us. And, I don't think you'll see us, running around high-fiving and celebrating this win other than for the next 24 hours, and then it goes back to recharging and resetting to neutral, and then you start the process of how we prepare for an opponent. And again, it starts with us, not the team we're going to play. Now, I do know our team knows it's been a tough game. I've been around here for 10 years, and we played Temple quite a bit, and they've been dogfights. And, our expectation is that we're going to get their best and that it'll be a tough, hard-nosed game. It is really hard to win on the road, and so we've got to prepare our guys to go up on the road. It'll be the first time we've traveled together, which is new. And so this week, we'll celebrate it tonight, but come tomorrow, as a coaching staff, we'll start game planning, and our guys have Sunday off, and then on Monday, it's right back to the drawing board. We start all over again.
Coach Shane Hackett of BGR Sports. What has been your biggest challenge coaching this football team since you took over? Because you had 2 blowout wins, and you only gave up 20 points in 2 games. So what has been your biggest challenge, and how did you respond to it?
I think the biggest challenge for us is just once you set an expectation and a standard, just living up to it every day. It was challenging this week. I was disappointed on Wednesday with how we kind of didn't finish practice the way we like to, and there's all types of things that we've got to continue to work to improve. And so to me, once we've kind of set this standard as a team and the expectation starts with our expectation, living up to it is tough. And so driving these guys and driving it home for them to understand that you have to bring it every day. And, why wouldn't you give 100% effort when it's 100% your choice to give it? And that's the standard that we've set for our guys, and that's what we keep driving home. But, it's hard to do with 18 to 22-year-old males, man. It is hard to get them to understand it. Every day you got to come to work with the right mindset and maximize it every single day. So that's the toughest challenge for us. But guess what? We drew the line in the sand, and we ain't backing off of it as a staff. We're going to get it out of them.
I know you have the right here. To your right, sorry, I'm not good at. I know you have the 24-hour rule, and you're going to move on to the next game. But when you look at the grand scheme of rebuilding a program, does a win like this over a ranked opponent, is that an important step, or do you even take that step back and look at it that way?
No, I don't think the rankings really have anything to do with it. I think the winning is what's important and how we win, and understanding why we have won the way we've won the last couple of weeks. And that's what we continue to drive home. And so, we're laying the foundation. I promise you, we're not even close to being the type of team that I know I want us to be, and I know our team isn't satisfied with the type of team we are. This is a foundation year for us. We are trying to develop and create a culture where this becomes the norm. But right now, it ain't. I mean, we won 2 games, and that doesn't. I mean, it's great that we won the 2, but we got a lot of football left to be played. And again, there's some things that we'll always learn from, and because it's the game within the game that we'll continue to stress with our guys. And you know, winning takes care of itself when you have the right kind of habits and behaviors. And I'm gonna keep driving that home with you guys as well.
Take 2 more so we get our players in here.
You know, with the defense giving up 330, receiving yards today, what do you want to see specifically improved, on pass coverage?
Man, just like I said, we got to play the ball a little better. We were in great position. I thought Tino was in good position on the deep ball that he got caught on him, and I thought on the pass interference we kind of, panicked with the ball in there. So again, I've got to do some things in our practice schedule to make sure that the things we don't do well in games, that we're getting enough work during the course of the week to make corrections. And that's the part that, our guys have been really good with taking those corrections. I mean, you're going to give up yards when you play the way we play on defense, but we had a bunch of negative plays. We created 2 turnovers. We played really good on 3rd down, I think, for the most part. And, I thought our tackling was still above board. There were a couple times where we, kind of dove off the diving board and missed a couple tackles. But, the only part, and again, this was the thing we needed to get corrected, was, we blew a deep coverage earlier in the game where the communication, we weren't on the same page, and that's the part that we've got to get corrected, because it'll come back to hurt us when we get ourselves into some close games.
Last question in the back.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Russell Davis.
How you doing, Russell Davis?
1984. I've been doing this a long time, almost 40 years. And one of the things that I've seen last 2 games is discipline. Anywhere from 8 to 9 plays, your team is disciplined. I've never seen that in a first-year coach. Can you explain to us how you and your coaching staff have gone about getting the kids to be as disciplined as they have been? Now, I know you're critical as a coach. You want every play to be perfect, but I've never seen a first-year coach do what you're doing when it comes to discipline.
Well, I think, again, I keep equating everything back to raising kids, man. I think once you draw the line in the sand as a parent that this is how we're going to do it, you don't back off the line. Monday through Saturday, from how we dress when we go on the road, and how we act in dining hall, and how we act when we go to class. And those are the little things that make the big difference. When they come in the building, they take their hats off and they pull their pants up. So all those little things that we ask them to do outside of the football part is what, I tell them. I mean, we don't have a lot of rules, but the rules we have because it shows us that you care enough about being a part of this family to do things the right way. We won't back off the line with it. I mean, they will try you. I mean, you've raised 18 to 22-year-olds. They're going to try you, man. And you just got to push back every time they push. And I've got a bunch of great assistant coaches and people in our program that help reinforce it. Everywhere they go within our program, they hear the same thing: just do things the right way. And we've been fortunate, but discipline and winning go hand in hand. And so we got to create and start with doing the discipline things first, and then winning comes. Thank you, guys.